Hi, this is Sweet June. How's everybody doing today? Coming back at you with another video. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up. I want to expand further on the video that I was talking about black women bashing black men. I'm going to put that video link in the description box. I was talking about black women bashing black men and talking about telling the divesters, the divestment community here on YouTube, talking about encouraging black women to not bring forth black male children. I was talking about that. I want to expand further on that. This video, I want to expand further. I want to go a little bit deeper and expand further on that. I had some more thoughts on that. I don't like to make videos too long, so I want to expand a little bit further on that. But I was talking about how when the black men bashing black women and the black women bashing black men on YouTube, how it's so detrimental to our community. It's keeping us divided, and it's definitely not the answer to anything, because we should be unifying and coming together instead of bashing each other. It's just pushing us further apart. That's what the oppressors want. And a lot of women are starting to divest, look to other races of men, or just doing away with black men altogether, with black males altogether, because of I mentioned in the other video, it comes from a place of pain. It comes from, and that's what I want to expand on. It comes from being hurt. A lot of black women have been hurt by black men. Some black women have been abused, was in abusive relationships. They was abused sexually by black men, either as a child or as an adult, and suffered abuse at the hands of a black male, and that's real. I can't deny that. That's real. Black women are the leading, and statistically, black women are most likely to be killed in a domestic violence situation, and it's usually at the hands of black men. Not always, but usually. Sometimes it is another race of men, but that's statistically, I mean, it is what it is. The black women leading those numbers are most likely to be high rates of domestic violence and abuse, and sometimes being killed at the hands of their mate. And oftentimes that mate is a black male. It is what it is. So a lot of black women have suffered abuse at the hands of black men, have suffered sexual abuse, and been through a lot of things. And then just emotional abuse is just it's bad too. I mean, just being in relationships and being, we've all been through that, just being hurt. I've been through some things from black men too. I'm not exempt. I've been through some things, some of the things I will not talk about on here, but some things I don't want to share on here, but I have been through some things as a result of black men as well. I've been in bad relationships, and I've been through some stuff too, so I'm not exempt from that. I've been through some things too, but I time is a good thing. Time is a good healer, and just leaning on God and drawing a close relationship with God has really been instrumental to me in helping me to deal with pain from past relationships and past traumas that I've been through. Just drawing a closer relationship with God, and just I think that has been very instrumental for me in helping me. Do I still kind of go through? Yeah, I do. I'm not gonna lie to you guys because I don't do that. I'm gonna keep it 100. Because sometimes, sometimes some things you're always gonna be kind of, when you go through certain things, it's either relationship problems in relationship of being broken, being brokenhearted, being hurt, or whatever it is that you experience. That's all that is trauma. It's trauma. It's whether it's physical trauma, emotional trauma, or both. That's trauma. It's trauma, and then sometimes you don't get past it, or if you do get past it, you're still gonna be affected by it in some way or form or fashion. But you learn to deal with it, and you learn to cope with it effectively. And the way that I was able to do that is, like I said, through my relationship with Jehovah God. I was able to build a close relationship with Him and draw closer to Him. And just time, time is very important, because sometimes when women, they jump from one relationship to the next, they don't give themselves time to heal. And men are guilty of that too. Once you jump from one relationship to the next, you don't give yourself time to heal emotionally from anything. And I've been single for a very long time, and there was at one time I hated it. I wanted to be married. I wanted to be in a relationship. I wanted to be married. But that time was needed. I will say that time was needed for me to heal, from past relationships and things that I went through. The situation with my youngest son's dad, that's complicated. That was a very hurtful situation to me, because anytime that you have a baby by someone and they just completely abandon you and the child, that is a very hurtful situation. So it took me a long time to get past that, to get to a place to where we have to get to a place in life where we have to come to terms. Acceptance is a big thing, with healing, and just learning how to come to terms with things and accept things and coming to terms with stuff. It's part of the healing process. And so it took me a long time to get to a decent place as far as my mindset, as far as that. And some other things that I dealt with in relationships as well. And so I think that time was needed. I think the time that all these years that I spent being single, that time was needed, because some healing needed to take place. There was some healing that needed to take place. And particularly if you're being intimate with guys, and they talk about soul ties, which I'm going to go more in depth in talking about that in some other videos. Just getting those soul ties and everything, and that can affect you as well. And just in my situation, developing feelings for people that I probably shouldn't have been developing feelings for, and having emotional issues from that as well. So a lot of black women have been through a lot of emotional trauma, physical abuse traumas, rape traumas. All those things are traumas, whether it's emotional, physical, rape, sexual abuse. All those things are trauma. They're traumas. And some black women just either haven't gotten past it, or they haven't given themselves enough time to. And I don't want to be judgmental here, because everybody's situation is different, and some things happen to you. You don't. It's not easy to get past it. I don't want to come from a place of judgment, because sometimes people go through stuff depending on the severity of the situation and how traumatic it. And that's all women. But right now we're talking about black women. depending on the severity of the situation, it might take a whole lifetime to really get to a place of not complete healing, but to the place where you could be, to where you can kind of halfway get your mind right. And so, it depending on the severity of the situation or what it is, they haven't healed. They haven't healed from that. And those traumas were experienced at the hands of black men, and because they were experienced at the hands of black men, and sometimes it's more than one black man. Sometimes it's black men in their family that they suffered abuse from. Black men in their family, black men that they had relationships with, the children's fathers. So it's sometimes it's more than one black man that caused the traumas. So in a situation like that, black women get to a place to where they're like, I'm done. I'm just done. And it kind of leaves a bad taste in their mouth, so to speak, when it comes to black men. Same goes for black men that hate black women. It comes from a place of trauma. They might have had a toxic mom. Some black men have a toxic mom, and I'm actually going to do a video topic talking about that. Some black men had toxic moms, and your mother is the first woman in your life as a male. Your mother is the first woman in your life. And if you experience trauma as a result of that first woman being your mother, then it could affect your relationships with women, particularly women that look like your mother, after that. You may not want nothing to do with women that look like your mother. And it's because of trauma. It all stems from trauma. And a lot of healing needs to take place in therapy. I've talked about this before. The black community, it's a stigma in the black community when it comes to mental health. And because there is a stigma in the black community when it comes to mental health, black people won't get help. Black people will not get the help that they need. I wish that more black people would go into that field, the psychiatry and stuff, because more of that is needed in the black. But there is a stigma in the black community that we're supposed to be so strong, the strong black man syndrome, the strong black woman syndrome, and we're supposed to be so strong that we're not supposed to be dealing with mental illness. We're not supposed to be dealing with any kind of emotional weakness or trauma, because we're supposed to be so strong. But at the end of the day, we're human beings just like everybody else. And so, like I said, I spoke about Taraji Henson in another one of my videos. I love what she's doing. I love the work that Taraji Henson is doing on that. She's doing things, workshops and things, that talking about mental health in the black community and black women, and I love what she's an advocate for that right now, and I love what she's doing with that, because she's experienced some things herself. So it comes from a place of trauma. Why these black women have and black men are doing this on YouTube. That's why they're doing it, because it comes from trauma. Just abusive relationships, bad relationships with their parents and people in their family that happen to be black. And so now they're against the whole black female race, or black women being against the whole black male race. It all stems from trauma. And because black people don't want to get help, they don't want to get help, mentally, because of that stigma, they keep carrying this trauma, and they don't address it, especially if they don't draw a close relationship with God. Some of them might not believe in God, so they just keep carrying this trauma. And the trauma's still there, and what they don't realize, and I've stated this in other videos, a person is not better because of their race. I've stated this, I talked about this in another video. A person is not better because of their race. If you do not fix the issues within yourself, you will literally go get the same person in another race. I've seen it on both sides. I've seen it on both sides. A person is not better. I'll be like Umar Johnson and say stuff 3 and 4 times. A person is not better because of their race. A person is not better because of their race. That is not logical thinking. That's not logical thinking. To think that a person is better because of their race. And it's detrimental when black people take on that mentality of thinking that white people are better because of their race. It's called programmed and conditioning. That's not true. People are not better because of their race and their skin color. If you don't fix the issues within yourself, you will find the same person in another race. Literally. If you don't get help with that trauma that you've been through, you're going to get the same person in another race. There's no other way I can say it. There's no other way I can put it. You got to fix your trauma that you're dealing with within yourself, and that goes for black men and that goes for black women. You got to get that. You got to get help with that. Mental help, spiritual help, but you got to get help. You got to get your mind right. And until you get help with those traumas, it's just gonna keep perpetuating themselves. So and it's easy for people to look outside themselves. It's easy for black men to say, well, all black women is this. It's easy for black women to say all black men is that. It's easy to do that. How easy it is to do that? It's easy to do that. But we all know that that's not true. A person is not automatically bad because of their race. That's on the flip side of what I just said. A person is not bad because of their race. I'm going to say it again. A person is not bad because of their race. It defies logic. So you have to fix whatever's, if you have that mindset, then you have to fix whatever's going on with you. And that goes for black women and black men. It's trauma. It comes from a place of pain. It comes from a place of hurt. Why they're coming on here, and now the black women are telling other black women that they need to stop birthing black males, even if they have to have an abortion, advocating abortion, which God doesn't approve of abortion because abortion is murder. So, first of all, you don't get to tell other women what to do with their body, first of all. So I'm never going to get on board with agreeing with that. Abortion is murder. God does not approve of that. Plain and simple. He don't approve of it. So, when they go as far as saying all that, they got some serious trauma going on. And there's another YouTuber on here. She got people that be calling in. She's a divester. She got the people that call in, the black women that call in to her live streams. They got trauma too. It's a lot of black women that have trauma because of the stuff that they've been through. And you got to get help with those things. Yeah, go ahead and divest. Divest and take that time that you're divesting. Divest from all relationships. And take that time while you divesting and get help. Get the mental and spiritual help that you need during that time that you're divesting. Divest from all relationships and take that time to get the mental and spiritual help that you need. So when you do decide to get into another relationship, regardless of what race that person is, it will be a healthy one. And you won't be taking that trauma into that relationship. So that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to expand further on that. But yeah, it's a lot of black women that have experienced a lot of trauma. And that's where that's coming from. Because we got all black men are not bad. And all black women aren't bad. And so that and so on and so forth. People are not automatically bad because of their race and gender. So if you think that you got some trauma issues that you need to deal with, that needs to be addressed. And that's where all this is coming from, this gender war between black men and black women. It all come from a place of trauma. And the people just need to get help. They just need to get and like I say, black folks won't address it. And a lot of things that's going on in the black community is a manifestation of that. Like I did a book review on a book called Black Pain by Marie Williams. Years ago, I did this book review. I might revisit that. I might do another one, up to date one. Excellent book. I recommend every black person in America to read this book. It's called Black Pain by Marie Williams, I believe. I did a book review on it years ago. I didn't get a lot of hits. But I'm telling you, I'm going to read it again. Because I forgot some of the things she's talking about in the book. But I'm going to read it. I'm going to give it another read because the book is deep. She's saying a lot of stuff that's happening in the black community. The direct correlation, the manifestation of that is mental illness. Unaddressed mental illness that black people are not addressing. It's that big, huge pink elephant that's in the room in the black community that black people will not address because of the strong black man syndrome and the strong black woman syndrome. Way overrated. Way overrated. We got some traumas that we're dealing with. And some of those traumas are from systematic racism. Well, that's a whole nother video. Systematic racism, a lot of those traumas stem from that. Dealing with systematic racism and just being black in America. Some of those traumas stem from that. But like I said, that's a whole nother video. You know what I mean? They call it there's a name for it. They call it post-slavery syndrome, something like that. It's deep. I'm going to give that book another read, and I might revisit that book review and do another one. And hopefully, maybe this time I'll get more hits on it and get a better review on it. What is she doing? So, it's deep, my people. It's deep. Go ahead, if you like this video, go ahead and thumbs it up. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel and the share. Think about it. And until the next video, peace and love. This is Sweet Jim. Be blessed.